Hello everyone, TJV here, and today I'm going to be talking about John Campea, Mr. John Campea himself. And I want to start off this video by saying, hey, I've seen John Campea for a very long time now. I've watched his YouTube shows all the way from the movie blog, AMC Movie Talk, to Collider Movie Talk, to the John Campea Show. He's been on YouTube for a long time. He spends his time talking about movies, the world of movies, and TV, and all this other stuff. You might have even stumbled across his video over time. He's been able to reach quite an amount of people just talking about movies online. And while there might be good things about John Campea, there are certainly not so good things about John Campea. This comes from the channel Campea Exposed, and I don't watch all of Campea's exposed videos at all, but every once in a while I'll get recommended one of them, and I gotta see, okay, what is Campea being exposed for? Now, necessarily he ain't being exposed for bad things all the time, but typically it's in that sort of light. And this time, it says, woke John Campea doubles down on blackwashing Link. There is a video prior to this saying John Campea suggests blackwashing Link for the Zelda movie, and I think you're aware of what John Campea is doing here, and you might have some mixed feelings about it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you agree with him. Maybe a black actor should be playing Link in the Zelda movie. But let's see what John Campea thinks of this.
I don't even care about that. So I got into a little debate with somebody because I mentioned Justice Smith yesterday. I mentioned Justice Smith on as one of the guys that I think who would be maybe a good pick to play him. And I got into this debate with somebody. The guy came in at me and said, no, Link is white. Link is white. He's a white guy. Keep him as a white guy. No need to race change. And I was like, you do know that Link isn't white. He's an elf.
So John Campea sits here and says Link is not white, he's an elf. And I'm going to get into the comments on this Campea Exposed video where it clips this part of his show and what they have to say about it, but there's a clear difference between like actual race and the color of someone's skin, which I think is going to be the determining factor of a lot of arguments. Whether your skin appears a certain color and what your actual race is two completely different things. And if you do want to stay true to one's character, that means you will adapt a character the way they look to live action or to a film, XYZ. So John Campea, in his suggestion for his actor, I think it was like Justice Smith, if you look at him and you look at Link, you're like, okay, they don't look that similar at all. So you would want to go for someone else, you know, someone who probably has a little bit of lighter skin, who maybe is white, because you would want the character to resemble what people know the character as. Now, sometimes deviating from that does work. I mean, Nick Fury was white in the comic books, and Nick Fury that we know in the MCU is played by Samuel L. Jackson, who is not white. Sometimes it certainly works, and it is applauded greatly. But we've seen recently with The Little Mermaid, there was a lot of people upset about The Little Mermaid not being white, being casted as a black actress in that role, and there's many other examples than that. But regardless, let's continue.
Just by casting a human actor, you're already race changing, because his race is elf. And just by putting in a human actor, you are race changing right there. Immediately, right out of the gate, you're race changing. Here's the thing, Link is not Caucasian. Link's an elf. He's an elf, period. He's an elf. He's not human. So just by making it a human character, by having him played by a human actor, you're already race changing him. Just throwing that out there. Like, this is the part I never get. Okay, Link is supposed to be 5'5". All right. So if they get an actor who's 5'4", are you going to be upset? Because that's a big physical difference. An inch height difference. That's a physical difference. Why are you worried about the tone of the pigmentation of their skin as the only physical trait you're worried about? Everything else is fine. They can be 6'9". They can have 5 eyebrows. Doesn't matter. But as long as he's white, I'll never understand that. And by the way, not important to the nature of the character. If the character is Japanese, if the character is portrayed by a Caucasian actor, a black actor, an East Indian actor, it doesn't matter. None of that is important to the character of Link. None of that is important to the character of Link. I mean, you can make Link have purple skin. It's not important to the character. So people hide other agendas behind this. But anyway, that's just my kind of take on it. Whatever. All right.
So I just typed in, is Link an elf? And it says he is a Hylian. I don't know if I pronounced that right, which is sort of an elf-human hybrid as far as looks goes. There are no humans or elves in Hyrule, where the game takes place. So one can argue that Hylians are elves, but as far as the official canon goes, no, he is not an elf, but neither is he human. Again, we could be talking about semantics here. Is elf the right word or not or whatever, but even to John Campia's example, and what you can do in a simple Google search is completely different. One of the comments says Link is an Asian Caucasian elf who was created by a Japanese game developers. Zelda was inspired by the legend of King Arthur, and yes, even elves have races. John argues in bad faith. He has terrible critical thinking skills, he sucks at debates, characterization matters, source material matters. John Campia's opinion does not matter unless you want a good laugh at his expense, lol. And I gotta say, I don't agree with John Campia here. I don't think making the argument that, oh, elf and human are two different races or whatever, when yes, humans, the human race, I get what you mean there. When you look at Link, he looks Caucasian, he looks white. So it makes sense whoever's creating this movie, casting for this movie, your first look would be, okay, we're going to look for someone who's white. Now, I haven't played the Zelda games. I don't know if it matters the color of his skin, if it's an important thing for the character. It could be something that has changed and people love it. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Zelda at all. But me just looking at a character, my first thought would be, who looks like that? Who has similar skin tone, similar eyes, similar hair color, similar build, XYZ. That's like how I would look at it. I wouldn't look at it and be like, well, we have a bunch of actors. Oh, Will Smith, he's a good actor. He probably will do it. Let's just go get Will Smith. And I get it. People want to look for the best actor who can act the best, who can portray the character the best in the film. But I look at like the Little Mermaid movie and that they cast a black actress to play the Little Mermaid, to play Ariel, and I feel like her performance wasn't above and beyond that a white actress couldn't do that. So I look at Link and I'm like, okay, unless you're gonna make the movie specifically about his skin color and specifically that he has darker skin and that matters in the story, then what's the problem just going to get a white actor to play Link? Like, I don't see a problem with that. And this all stemmed from John Campia proposing that one of his actors of his choices were black, and people had a big hoopla about it. But I think they can have a big hoopla about it. You're now suggesting that they cast someone else of a different skin tone to play a character that is clearly white. Again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. No. Am I a fan of Zelda? Am I going to be mad about it? No. But I understand if characters of the game don't want that to end up happening, or if they're going to be just a little annoyed that it's happening for seemingly no reason, or even worse, it's happening because of political reasons and the message. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Should Link be white or black? Does it not matter? Or are you just going to be annoyed that they're going to cast whoever they're going to cast regardless, and the movie might end up being terrible because most movies nowadays are terrible? That's kind of where I'm at. I just saw the Marvels and I don't have faith in any movie going forward. That's how bad that screwed me up. All right, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of John Campia? I'll see you guys later. Bye.